My background is as a BBC reporter. I spent 12 years in the BBC reporting, and then I left the BBC to become a coach. So who am I to talk about leadership coaching? And the beauty of coaching is that coaching provides a space, this is what I provide for leaders to reconnect with themselves as leaders and to draw forth that which needs to be brought and drawn forth. And I thought, rather than tell you all about the projects I've been working on, which you can go and read on my website if you want to, I'd much prefer just to do something with you which I think really gives a bit of a sense of coaching in action. So what I've done is I've got a series of images here, and it requires you grabbing a pen and paper which you've got in the middle of your table. And I'm going to show you these series of images. There's 6 images in all. And what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to write down the qualities that really resonate with you about these images of the people I'm going to show you. All right? So that's what I'd like you to do. So you're going to write down, for you personally, what are the qualities about this person that really resonate with me? All right? So here we go. So here we've got, let me get out your way, Sarah. Richard Branson and Malala Yousafzai. So Richard Branson is a businessman and entrepreneur. Malala is the Pakistani schoolgirl who was shot by the Taliban and is an activist for education, particularly for women. Got Jamie Oliver. He's a celebrity chef, but he has a passion about really introducing healthy food into schools. And we've got Jessica Ennis, who's the current Olympic gold champion, heptathlon champion. And finally, of the 6 images, we've got J.K. Rowling. She's the author of the Harry Potter series, the highest earning author in the world. And Nelson Mandela, who was the president of South Africa and anti-apartheid revolutionary. And he passed away earlier this year, last year. And I want you to look at your bit of paper, and I want you just to circle 3 of those words or qualities that you've written down that really resonate, particularly for you. Just circle 3. And just turn to the person next to you and just share what they are. If you feel comfortable doing that, that'd be great. But just do that. Share. What are the 3 that you particularly picked? Okay. I'm going to tell you a different story, and I'll come back to this in a second. You're going to learn a lot about me. I'm going to tell you about my aunt now. All right. And my aunt, for Christmas, not this last Christmas, but the previous Christmas, she gave me an amaryllis plant in a box. So it's the bulb, you get a little pot of compost, or a pot and then a little bag of compost. You combine the 3, add water, and magic happens. That is, if you don't put it in your garage and forget about it. Now, I went to my mum's house, and she had also been given a similar present. And I remember going into the living room, and on the fireplace was this most beautiful amaryllis plant. That's what they look like. And I said, what a lovely plant. Where did you get that from? She said, well, your aunt gave it to me. And I thought, oh, I have one of those. What have I done with it? So what I did is I went home and I searched in the garage and I found the box. And I thought, I wonder if I could still plant it and still grow a plant like this in time. Now I opened the box and this is what was inside, and I did plant it up. Because actually inside the box, even though it hadn't been put in soil, even though it hadn't seen daylight, and even though there's no water involved, a plant, a flower, had tried to emerge. It was only this tall, but it had tried to emerge. And I planted it up and tried to to rescue it. I think it had better chance in the box rather than with my plant keeping skills, unfortunately. But actually, in a sense, I think this is really what coaching is all about, is that we have these qualities, and the qualities that you wrote down, I suggest these are your qualities. These are the qualities you want to bring forth. And they will be trying their best, regardless of the circumstances that they're in, to emerge. If you combine those potentials with coaching, that's when you get the plant. That's when you provide the environment for these qualities to emerge. Coaching isn't about telling somebody what they should be doing. It's about finding out what is in them that needs to emerge, and then providing the right environment for that to happen. It's simple. It's simple. It's changing your language. It's about being interested, curious. It's about connecting with people. It's not easy. I want to tell people what I want to do. I want to help them. I want to rescue them. Okay. So when you see, though, the magic happen, it's a really, really wonderful experience. So how do I use coaching? I use it in schools, and I use it to train people in coaching. Kath, I've given her tenner. She'll say good things about me. Go and see her at the break, all right? But Kate Cornwell have been using coaching, and I'm really excited about how they're now using the skills with the young people. I've been using it in Woodland School, there's a primary school, and again we're starting to use it with the children. One of the things which I get passionate about with coaching is what it opens up for people. So I was coaching a police inspector, and just to give you, these are the stories that touch me, all right? I was coaching a police inspector, and he was also having coaching skills training at the same time. And one of the conversations we had on the phone, because I do a lot of my coaching on the phone, he said, do you know what? He said, I've actually spoken to my adult son for the first time in 5 years. And I said, oh, we hadn't actually been using coaching for that at all. Tell me what's happened. And he said, well, what normally happens, because he lives away, and he's lived away for 5 years, is that he rings, I answer the phone, and I'll say, how are you, son? He'll say, fine, and I'll say, you probably want to speak to your mother. And I hand the phone over. He said, but now I've got some skills that I know how to connect with him and to ask the questions. And for me, those are the sorts of stories which are magic. It's about reconnecting with people. Isn't that what we're all about? When I worked with some teaching assistants, and we worked in a school, and we were looking at how they can use a coaching approach with the children, this is one of the quotes, and I'll play it so you can hear it as well, that one of the teaching assistants came up with. Hopefully you'll hear this nice and clearly so you can read along.
Because I think before I was very much looking at, yes, I'd ask a question, but I'd already have decided what the answer I wanted, and it's taught me to understand that the children will take me in the direction. I may go perhaps around the whole field before I reach back to the gate, but they will get there, and their actual extension of their learning and getting there has been far more beneficial than me taking them straight along the straight path. So that's where it's helped me greatly with that.
This is about, for me, leadership is about enabling people to learn, giving them the space to learn. That's the quickest route. I can take you there. In coaching, you allow someone to find that for themselves. So how do I bring in coaching in schools? 2 ways. One-on-one coaching, we work with leaders and leadership teams. The area I'm particularly excited about at the moment is developing the coaching skills within a school. This is how you change a culture within a school, changing the language within a school. So I'm going to finish off with a video. It's about 5 minutes long, which will just give you a flavour of some of the work I've been involved in. And if you want any more information, I'll be available over the lunch break, and I'll be delighted to have a chat with you. I need to rummage and find this.
Coaching is being used to develop leadership in 2 key areas in schools. Leaders can receive one-to-one support from an experienced external coach, or alternatively, the skills of coaching are being developed amongst teams. Riverside Community Primary School in Plymouth has brought in 2 leadership coaches for their leadership team. Since the coaching has started, the head teacher has seen a significant difference.
What I've noticed is the outcome. The staff that work with people are more confident. They're feeling that they can tackle issues that in the past they would have come back and asked for advice. So it's made my job easier. It's made my job easier by not having to do so much, which is great. And actually, on a selfish level, I'm quite pleased with that. They will come to me sometimes as staff and say this is what they've done, rather than before they'd ask how I would have done it.
Different now is that I'm far less likely to go to my head and ask him to solve a problem for me. I'm much more likely to just tackle a conversation that I didn't really want to have with a member of staff, and I have found actually that now far less happen that need dealing with.
Whilst some schools, like Riverside Community Primary School, have been using external coaches to develop leaders, other schools have been developing the skills of coaching internally with their staff. Both Cape Cornwall School and King Edward VI Community College have noticed how these coaching skills are helping to embed leadership principles with the students.
It's about giving students ownership, about giving them ownership and accountability for their progress, rather than, that sort of, gained helplessness, if you like, by everybody doing it for them. It's about them saying, actually, yes, I can do this, and this is what I need to do, and then coming back and telling us what they've done.
But I think that we all have a responsibility for our own development and our own learning and how we approach our learning. And I think one of the most powerful things we're going to get out of coaching is that students will take that responsibility, and we can coach them to enable them to lead their own developments, because it is that empowering, and it's about helping them recognise what they can do, make their own decisions, and realise actually it's their decision making and it's not being imposed on them and told to them. And I think that's one of the most powerful things we can do.
Woodlands Park Primary School in Devon has been keen to develop children as leaders, and they've started to use coaching for this. Some of the older children have been trained in coaching skills, and they're now supporting the younger children. The coaches have enjoyed the process.
I like coaching a lot because when I'm older I want to be a teacher, and it's kind of like teaching someone how to be a better learner, so it's kind of along the lines of teaching.
And what have you noticed with the person you're coaching?
I've noticed that he is grown in himself, and that I think that he's more confident and things like that.
I just learned how to interact with other children a bit more, because I do have a younger sister and I know it like that about it, but then I think just doing this made me think a bit more about it and just learn more, and I think I found it really fun.
And to have that natural curiosity encouraged rather than closed down upon is absolutely fantastic. And isn't it great when a teacher says something and a child is able to say, actually, I don't agree with that because, and isn't that what we want to develop in all our children? To question and query everything that's thrown at them, really. So they're not the followers, they're the leaders.
So that, in essence, is some of the work I've been up to. If you're interested to learn more and you want me to send you some further information, I'd be delighted to. And I put that on your desk. A quote for you to take away. Just give us the slip of paper back if you'd like further information. I'm going to also be doing some free twilight sort of introduction to coaching sessions in Dorset and Devon, and we'd be delighted to send you more information. It's been a pleasure being with you today. Thank you.